Hello everybody, August 31st. Yes, it's kind of sort of the end of summer, kind of sort of the end of playtime, kind of sort of creating some angst in many of us that some of the band-aids haven't been pulled off. Some of the truth serums have been watered down, so we're still waiting for the shebang of a lot of it. But remember, so many things are not in our control, but what is in our control is our responses and reactions to all things. So as much work as I do on myself all day at talking to myself, asking myself, what do you need, what do you want, what do you desire, how do you feel in this moment? Are the things that you're doing, eating, thinking, how are they affecting the body? And how might that affect the things that are around you, surrounding you? So I take it as my sacred duty to tune into all these things. But just when I think I'm doing okay, things get worked out in your sleep. So some people are getting funky dreams, some people are getting this and that. And I awoke about 4:30, and I kind of felt like I was a little bit out of my body, but I understood on a conscious level that perhaps I hadn't integrated back in yet. And so I was breathing through that. When I found myself literally thrashing to get out of my covers and sitting up, and my heart started to palpitate, my head felt like kind of like odd. And I go, well, just wasn't getting oxygen. So I turned on the light, I drank some water, I went to the bathroom, and this had occurred to me 2 weeks ago. And then it occurred maybe 2 years ago, like twice in 2 years. And where I had memories of being buried alive and different things coming up, things that I could really work through, but for them to come back again now after I feel like I've done so much work has been a little surprising to me. But at the same time, I have to know that spirit works in many different ways, and what I thought might have been emptied out there were still some things there to investigate and to observe and be aware of, and decide how I was going to dissolve them. So with that being said, I had to go downstairs to where it was cooler, and I had to do some deep breathing, and I had to put on some megahertz music headphones, sit up in a comfy position on the sofa, and allow myself to drift off. And that's what I did. Felt a little sluggish for a few hours after that, doing a lot of yawning when I woke up. Yawning is an indicator that air needs to get to your brain. Okay. So I actually allowed myself to go lay back down again, just to sort of just be, after I ran an errand. And then now that I'm thinking about a lot of things, I'm thinking about, it brought up fear that I wasn't safe, that I wasn't getting my quota of air and oxygen due this physical body to sustain what I would consider alertness and feeling homeostasis. And I can contribute that to, it's come to the end of summer, and divine timing, I'm doing my best to trust it, but I can't control what other people do. But I'm a little bit behind on getting my website out, so that means, I'm thinking about financial sustaining. I'm thinking about, where I am in the universe right now and where my mind thought I would be at this time. And I believe that was causing some things to be worked out during my sleep time, which created a panic. So what do I always say we're to do? Stop, drop, sit. Stop, drop, sit, and connect with your breath. So that is what I'm doing. And I'm just going to see where it takes me today. So if any of you are going through some of this angst, this anxiety, feeling like maybe you're going to be going over to the other side, but yet you think you're going to be staying here on this side, we can't concern ourselves with all of that. We can only be the best that we can be in this moment and make the highest choices for not only ourselves, but for what emanates and translates through our energies to others, okay, and what we're taking in. So much of what we're processing isn't not necessarily all ours. It's a lot of the fear of not having enough, not being enough, being in flux, not quite seeing over the horizons, not recognizing mirages, illusions, delusions, and then trying to make sense of the chaos when the chaos makes no sense. Okay? So what I would suggest is, of course, the stop, drop, sit, connect with the breath, but I'd also suggest that we do our best to stay here in this moment. That what is going on outside of our brick and mortar homes and businesses and our car and so on is just to focus on that. What's outside of that, we just really need to figure out what it is that really resonates and comes through our physical bodies that gives us information. What is truly ours and what is not ours, and then how do we contribute? How do we contribute for the highest good of all? Because we can't make something go away. And I've said in my video probably a year ago is we're not here to eliminate the dark and shine all light. No, there's always going to be a contrast that's going to complement each other once you get rid of the belief systems of what the dark and the light are. All right, so that's one of the biggest battles a lot of people are having is how do you open up what you've heard, seen, and been ingrained in you for lifetimes, and how you're supposed to suffer and be a victim, which creates bullies, by the way, because you have no choice, so you have nothing to lose. So bullies come out, narcissists come out, and we all have a little piece of that within us. So what's being mirrored out there is there's a fraction of that within each and every one of us. So if I can't go out and help someone else that's doing something at the moment, how do I work with it within this vessel? Okay, where is the bully, the narcissist, the scared person, the not getting enough oxygen, the chaos, the harming, the goodness, whatever you want to call that's happening everywhere. So how do I go within myself and then offer, the love, the forgiveness, the compassion, the releasing, and again, that's Kuan Yin in the lavender flame, and Saint Germain in the violet flame, so that you have that ultraviolet transmuting. I like that too. Again, I make my own dictionary as I get older. As you transmute through those rays of light, dissolving it from the universe and from your universe, your physical vessel. So the change comes within us in order to make change within the all. And that's super important to realize. So every time you bark about what's happening out there, you're literally throwing more gasoline onto the fire, creating more karma. Okay? On every subject. Okay? It's okay to read the information. It's okay to say, okay, thank you so much for the information. I see this fraction of it. Okay, thank you for this information. I see this fraction of it. Well, thank you for this information. I'm seeing this information and fractions of it. I don't own it. It's other people's perceptions that they're putting out there. So why am I going to own it and all of a sudden it's my fight, it's my this, it's my that, when all the facts have not been collected? Okay? So before you take on a lot of that fiery fierceness and you think it's being courageous, have the courage to sit back and just keep this dog out of the fight. Because this dog may need to take their talents, their skills, and their gifts and go into this direction. Okay? So that we can all balance each other. Because every dog can't be in the fight. Alright? You all see what I'm saying with that, right? I'm being told you do. You do. So take this precious physical gift that you have that houses everything that you need, want, and desire, as long as you thinketh and knoweth and createth with all the goodness. And I use that word just very generically to throw it out. I'm not a brander or a themer. You guys know that already. But work on what it is that your path needs to be on. And if that means you got to isolate a little bit, please love yourself enough to say, I've got to go in and work this path. And then I got to walk a little on this path and go in with this path. Walk a little on this path, go in with this path. Walk a little over here, go in with this path. Walk a little up here, go in with this path. Walk a little down here, go in with this path. All right? So that you're beginning to say, oh, I like the way this is unfolding. I had no idea that this was in me, or that I could be in such a contrast to what I thought I was. And that's the beautiful thing of coming into your own. Okay? Because you're really truly igniting the God sparks within you, because you are the God. You are all that is and all that ever will be within all that I am. So call on that almighty presence of thyself and talk directly to. And it's all a wavelength and a current of communication. Instead of following somebody else's or taking bits and pieces of somebody else's stuff and taking that as your own. Come back to original source without all the information that has been dumped down your throat telling you what is right and what is not right. All right? Again, metaphors for information. And whatever happened from yesterday, moving backwards, does not matter. It's where do you start your starting footings right here. It's where do you start them? Where do you draw your line, and this is where you're going to start. And throughout your day, when you find you're getting off on patterns of the old person that you were, you go, okay, hold on a second. I gotta draw a new line here. This is where I am. Okay, now let me move forward with the clearest, vessel that has emptied out all of the garbage, the trash, the junk, the bin that no longer needs to be held to be reviewed anymore. And you just want to start collecting new data and new information. All right? So love, light to each and every one of you. If you're looking for any coaching or embodiment work along these lines, my information's always in the description. And have a great day. Bye.